Okay, so I'm going to place an abutment, and right now there's only one template that is in there, 40-foot roadway. Again, I'm not going to select any of this stuff right now because I want you guys to be able to see this because I think it's going to require a little bit of discussion on KDOT designer's part, which way you want to apply it. So I'm just going to place abutment 1 right now. It only has 4 pile. I'm not concerned about that right now. What I do want is to show how this looks. Every abutment has a definition of a back wall and the definition of the quote unquote cap. So let me go into the template. There are several different ways to do this. Okay, cap length doesn't matter, but the depth, height, I'm going to set to 36 inches. Width, I'm going to set to 36 inches as well. Now the back wall depth, I'm going to make 0.1, and I am going to apply it as the full width of the cap. So you can see the working point is right here, center line of abutment. And I believe what it's going to do is place, go back to my isometric view, I believe the red line is going to be placed on my support line. Hit OK. You can see now that what was there versus what's here now. The beams are sitting on top of a pile cap. These are the two ways that this can be applied. Let me go ahead and adjust the width to the deck and offset it 7.5 feet. So it's actually not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and apply the skew to the solids. So you can watch this line right here. Make that true, and it skews it. So going back into this now, applied to my bridge deck width. The beams are extending past centerline abutment. If I make it integral, you can watch this here. I'm going to make integral equal to true. And I'm really not certain. You can see that it applies really well out here at the edge of deck, but then it doesn't even cover up top flange of the beams here towards the middle of the bridge, which means that it's leaving a gap between the bottom of deck and the top of the abutment. I'm going to leave this one the way it is, and then on abutment 2, I'll do it the other way. I'm going to place abutment, select support line 4, still the same abutment, yes, get out of it. And now I'm going to select abutment 2. I'm going to apply skew to the solids, just by the deck, horizontal offset by 5, or minus 8.25. Now go back into my element. Depth is 36. Width is 36. Depth of my back wall, 0.001. The width of my back wall is 36 inches wide. Say OK. The other way to do this, now I'm going to select this option, which is conform the back wall. And it conforms it to the top of deck. Okay. Now you have the deck extending to the support line. You've got the back wall conforming to the top of deck. But you can also see that the slope of the bridge deck is different than this conformed back wall. Now, the other thing that you can see here is that when I made it integral, it sucked the whole footing up. So this is only 36 inches high. So essentially what I need to do at abutment 1 is for the depth, I'm just going to make it 72 inches. Hit OK. So then it makes it an actual abutment. This is not applied all the way up to the top of deck. There used to be an option. The top slope is supposed to be parallel to the deck, which this obviously is not. And so I'm not sure why that does not occur. I make it level. It makes it level. No question. Put it back to parallel to deck. Drives it back to parallel to deck. But I think it must, wherever it meets bottom of deck on this end, and wherever it meets bottom of deck on this end, it draws a line as that's the slope of the deck. On this end, conforming the back wall does not conform it necessarily to the vertical curve of the bridge. It's difficult to, but just like on the approach slab, I can now select this, and on my start station offset, I can make this minus 1.75. Make up for the skew. I've extended my bridge deck to the edge of abutment. So you can see there is a gap between top of, quote unquote, top of abutment and bottom of bridge deck. But right here at the edge, it's pretty dead on. This end, though, I need to pull it back to the front face of the abutment. I need to pull the bridge deck back. But this is not going to do two things. This does not let me place my bridge rail to the end of my abutment. And this top edge is not sloped with the vertical curve. It's just, I think it's level from where the deck connects to center line of abutment. So I don't like this option for abutment 2, primarily because it doesn't let you place your bridge deck, or your bridge rail to the end of to the backside of your abutment. So I don't like conforming the back wall, and I guess at least with the making it quote unquote integral, at least I know there's a gap under there, and if I'm using my model for quantities, I know there's a gap between what my abutment is, top of my abutment, and bottom of my bridge deck. So this is how we chose to do it, and until we figure out a little bit more on abutments and how to do them, I mean, obviously this abutment does not have a slab rest on it. So should we really be using this to even roughly estimate what quantities are for the abutment? Probably not. It's probably half a dozen one way and 6 the other that some people would, when they're calculating the abutment concrete, they take the top of the deck concrete as part of their abutment quantities, and probably the other direction that people will completely from EWS to EWS calculate their deck quantity, and then their abutment is the quantity below that. So anyway, it's a discussion to be had about how to apply abutments and work through the best way to do it in OpenBridge modeler. So just figured I would point that out. Next video, I'll place some bridge rails to where this actually starts looking.